All right, now we're going to start calculating the compression ratio for this thing that we know our cylinder heads are basically 67 cc's as we did them yesterday. So I need to re-verify my head gaskets here to figure out the head gasket volume. We've got 545. So we're going to write that down. And our thickness is uncompressed, so about 32 thousandths. Once it compresses, it'll be 30. So we're going to write that down, and we'll have to convert those into millimeters when we write those down. And then some of the given stuff, we already know the cylinder volume and already know the deck height for both cylinders because we already measured those. And we already know the valve pocket volume. And the deck height on one cylinder will be 0. The deck height on the other is -5. So and I haven't converted that into cc's yet, but 5 thousandths ain't a whole lot of difference in volume. So let's get on. I've written out a formula for it. I'll post it in the actual video, and I'll put it in the description too. All right, so I'm just doing my compression ratio calculations here. When you're going through them, you're going to need the head gasket volume, cylinder head volume, the cylinder volume, piston dome volume, and deck height. So what you'll end up with is, these flat top pistons, you can't just go as them as being flat top because they have valve pockets in there, which obviously lose some compression due to the valve pockets. So you'll need to add that number to it. In this case, in Wiseco pistons, they were 2.8 cc's for both valve pockets. They're slightly bigger than the stock valve pockets, I guess for if you had bigger valves or whatever. But that being said, if you got pop-up pistons, you're gonna have to subtract volume. So you're doing your formula, and where it says right here, the piston, where it says piston, that just figure that as dome volume. In this case, it was minus or plus. So if you had a pop-up piston, you would have to subtract from this number instead of adding to it. So you would add everything together and you would subtract the dome volume for a pop-up piston. So say it was a 4 cc dome on it. You would add the chamber, head gasket, deck, and cylinder together, and then you would subtract the piston volume. In this case, we added it to it because it's actually taking compression away from it. Same with the deck height. If you have a minus deck, you're going to add that to this number. If you're in this case, one cylinder had a 0 deck height, and the other one had a -5, which I'm not worried about -5 thousandths. That ain't a whole lot of cc's. So you need to add or minus those, and it says that. I put all this stuff in the description. So as far as this goes, you're going to add the cylinder volume, the cylinder head volume, head gasket volume, piston dome volume, deck height, And you're going to do those all together. In math, this would be in parentheses, here and here. And then you're going to add those together and then subtract or divide this top number by the bottom number. Hold on for a second. That might be a little bit easier for you. So what we ended up with was we had a 67.4 cc cylinder head volume, 2.8 piston dome volume, 603. Anyway, we came up with a little over 9-to-1. Due to the valve pockets where valve job was slightly deeper for whoever did the valve job. Stem protrusion's right on, but it's at the top of the spec there. So sinking the valves deeper in the head, it's going to take some compression out of it. We actually made up for a little bit of compression with the thinner head gaskets and getting the decks where they needed to be, because these things were 10 thousandths under the top on one cylinder and 15 thousandths on the other. And we got them up to zero deck on one cylinder and under 5 thousandths under on the other one. So it's closer. Not ideal. Ultimately, this thing would be a lot better with like a 10.5-to-1 piston. With these N4 cams, 10.5 would be perfect in there. But anything, even a 10 would be better than these. But, you know, maybe this winter we'll do that. And just pretty much just blueprinting this thing because we had to tear it apart to do base gaskets on it and freshening things up on it. The valves on it had to replace the cylinder heads. Well, one of them, somebody had repaired a spark plug hole in it, and it was, when they ran the tap down there, it hit the edge of the intake seat. So, and valves were pockmarked all crazy. There ain't no way those valves were sealing very well. Seats were extremely wide, pockmarked, valves were toast. But other than that, that's how you figure out the compression ratio. And like I said, these are on Harley Sportster heads, but it's the same principle for any kind of cylinder head out there. Exact same formula. Anyway, that's enough. I'm going to go eat some lunch and edit this thing out and load it up. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And have a great weekend. A great weekend coming up. I guess it is Thursday. So have a great weekend. Thank you.